What's up, YouTube? My name is Coffee Knight. Today's video is going to be over the Shadow Keep dungeon, Pit of Heresy. Now, yes, I am aware that it has been in the game since 2019. However, I still have people asking for it to be taught as they've never done it. So this is a guide over Pit of Heresy. If you enjoy, like and subscribe. And if you want to find friends who want to play and help, make sure to check out the Discord and the Twitch. It'll be links down below. Hope y'all enjoy. Welcome to Pit of Heresy, or POH for short. We're going to follow the path I'm taking. Now, whether you are a new or a returning player, this is my guide over Pit of Heresy. And for this kind of first bit, you're going to be making your way downwards. And you'll know you've made it to the right spot when you come across a banner placement. Now you will see here how it gave me the respawning restricted, and there is the raid banner or rally banner placement. Now, for here, we're going to immediately drop down to the first and closest tower near me. The reason for that is because this is normally, in my experience doing this dungeon, never a beginning tower. Now, you will see me for a split second look at the three symbols. You're going to want to remember those. It is different for everyone each time. However, that cursed sword bearer is not. You will always need him. So, once you pick up the sword, go to the first symbol. Doesn't matter which order you do. Just go to whichever one you want to go to first. Now, once you make it, you will have to kill a pit keeper. That is how you unlock the door, as I did that for the very beginning room to find my symbols. Now, as you can see, that Shrieker, important. You're going to remember him. There is a Shrieker, Wizard, and Knight. Only those three. You're going to want to remember them. They are a key importance to this whole dungeon. Now, you see me killing the ogres, you ain't gotta. It's just a me thing that I do for survivability, so I know I survive. So, after you've completed that, you're going to make your way to the next tower for the symbol. Each tower above it will have the symbol co-aligning to that tower. Again, I just did all of this for killing to make sure I survive. That's why it's sped up. So, as I was saying about the three, Shrieker, you have to block. So whatever button is to block for a sword, that's what you want to use. Wizard, it's heavy attack. And then Knight, it's light attacks. You will see all of that as I'm running for each symbol and getting the accursed sword bearer. as I mentioned before, with the Shrieker Knight Wizard, here we will only be doing the light attacks. Careful of the thrall; they will swarm you. Try not to die to them, because then you'll have to restart, and the symbols will be different. I also forgot to mention that when you kill the Shrieker Knight Wizard, you will get in the text above your super. A disciple of the blade has fallen. That is how you know you are progressing. So, again, you just want to keep making your way to the symbols, kill them, progress. Alright, now we have made it to the final symbol for me, at least, which is the wizard. This will launch a heavy attack, which is a projectile. I'm pretty sure how I fumbled, and I dropped the sword to kill the wizards. If you don't drop the sword, you could probably get it in one go. If you end up dropping the sword, it will count down depending on how long you leave it. So, I fumbled that, and you'll see why I recommend you don't fumble it and you actually try to do it. As I did nearly die, that's okay. I did use my super, which was a waste, but however, nonetheless, we still completed it, and you will see how we did that. Now, I will mention, once you kill it, again, once you kill all three, you'll know you've done it correctly when there's that giant beam in the center. All the other pillars that are not on there, when you drop down to that first room, will all have a cursed sword bearers. So, no need to feel that if you did it wrong, you'll just know you're in the wrong one. So, again, we're just going to kind of follow the path I take. So we're going to go down the hallway, and then we're going to drop down in a kind of, not really a drop down. You're going to look for this green light in the wall, almost like a slit. You can almost miss it. So once you're in, again, just follow the path. You're making your way down. Now, once you make it to the bottom, and you'll know, once it says the pit, and you hit a restricted zone, restricted spawning, the map up on the screen is not mine. I am not going to take credit for that. However, I will say, you can find all the maps that I use in the video on Reddit. I will try to find links from and put them down below. Now, we've just entered what I will call chambers. There are 4 chambers. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in 3. We have to deposit a void charge in left, middle, and right. As you will see, that when killing Midnight, it drops it. The only downfall, there are 3 immune ogres that are guarding. They are walking up paths along left, middle, and right. So, as you will see, when I punch that open, I'll run out. The ogre will be coming right there. They spawn at the end. He does nearly kill me. If you're a warlock, I would highly recommend using Eager Edge with Icarus Dash. Just to get around. If you have the void charge, having Icarus Dash just helps a lot. Any other class, it's just melee. Melee with it and you'll get some boosts. So, you will see that I will deposit into left. What I'll do then is I'm making my way back. I'm going to enter chamber 1. Now, the reason I take this path, the pathing, I should say, is because it's just, to me, more efficient. You don't have to kill all the ads. I do just because I would rather not be jumped by them. So, once I've killed all of them, I take it. This is middle. So, I extinguish. I make my way into 2. Once I'm in 2, I find the knight. Once I kill him, I kill all the ads. And then that will be the end of this part. As we are picking up that last one, you might be asking yourself when you're looking at that map, what is the Xenophage boss? That will be a different video covering a quest line to get the exotic machine gun Xenophage. So, this part can be a little difficult if you're doing it solo. I would highly recommend running a LMG to take care of the 2 upper knights. So, we're going to start this off. You don't want to be sitting on the plate. If you don't sit on the plate, you will end up dying. The totem you're under will light up and you will die. The Curse of Suffering, I'm pretty sure stacks up to 10. Once it stacks up to 10, you're dead. So, how do you lower your Curse of Suffering? And how do you manage to do this solo? Well, the best way I tell you, you're going to kill a Heretical Knight. It's going to drop your Void Charge. You're going to grab that charge. And you see how that totem is yellow? You want to make sure you stand on it long enough that it goes down. Because if you don't, you will end up dying. So, notice how I have an LMG and I take care of those 2 upper knights. Those are like your worst case. This is just Thrall. So, if you're using Titan, I'd recommend Knockout. Build a build around that where you're able to heal off of it. Hunters, I mean, Gunpowder Gamble is pretty good. Ad clear. It's just a lot of ad clear. And cycling, because if you don't cycle and you're doing this full fire team, Curse of Suffering will stack up for one person. If it stacks up for one, they'll just die because of it. So, you kind of want to do it like a rotational thing. One goes, the other goes, you know, all that. Now, if I'm not wrong, this is the clip that I did not stand on the plate, and I end up wiping because of it. And you'll see here. Without standing on the plate, that's what happens. So, this is going to be a whole redo of me doing it, and you'll see how it goes. Now, I will say the best route I took for this was picking the charge up and then immediately going for the plate. Now, if it was glowing red before I even was able to deposit, I would quickly stand on the plate to decrease the lightness on it. I don't know what it would be called. So, I would highly recommend, if you can, do it. If you know that, you're not going to make it, try to get to that plate, decrease it, and then deposit, and then sit on the plate for a minute. Because a lot of it will be ad clear to spawn the Heretical Knight, as you see here. I stand on the plate, just long enough for it to go down, and then extinguish. I would highly recommend that. Once you have completed this encounter and deposited all 6 void charges, your chest will appear, and you will have to shoot this yellowish-like wall to break it. Now, this next part is going to be like a dropper. I would definitely say make it down. So, I know I didn't include this in the video. There is a secret chest. Now, what we're looking at are the 3 symbols. We're going to remember that. Same thing with the map. You're going to want to follow it. It's not my map. I will have links to both of them in the description. But what we're going to do is we're going to make those exact routes to it. I had the map pulled up while I was doing this, so that's why you won't see it like you will with the pit. But here, this is where I go. If you have this symbol that's over here, you will always have a shrieker, so be careful of that. Try not to die to it. And you will be killing 3 wizards. Once 3 wizards are dead, your restricted respawn will disappear, and you'll be able to progress. So, if you get lucky and get the same 3 I did, just follow my exact pathing. If you didn't, check out the map, see how far you gotta go. Now, I will say, it is very easy to get lost. This is one of the areas I did get lost. Even though, yes, I have done this dungeon, I still get lost in this one part. And I have had to join an LFG who did get lost at this part. So, don't feel bad if you get lost. Just try to find the end. and you'll be able to find yourself right back where you were at. Now that we've completed the maze, now we are on to the final encounter. Zolmak, Giant Knight. We're not going to want to forget the Shrieker, Wizard, and the Knight. The reason I say it like that is actually the exact same path I take. I go from Shrieker, Wizard, Knight. The reason I do that, pathing. Take out the two that have the most projectiles. You get rid of them, you ain't got to worry about them all that much. So, how this is going to work, we're going to kill those 3. Once we kill them, each of them will drop 1 void charge. We're going to have to take that said void charge and deposit in the center right in front of the boss. There will be a little deposit area. Now, once we've done that, the DPS phase will start. We have until he sticks his sword in the ground, starts glowing orange. Once it starts glowing orange, you want to get out of that. He pulls it out, you're dead immediately. So, you will see how I do this. I am running this solo. If you're running it with 3 people, easiest to ever do. Each of you take 1, you go from there. So, other than that, I highly recommend survivability. Even if you output the most damage, you kind of want to do it a lot of survivability, especially solo. Now, as I killed that Shrieker, it dropped the void charge. I get out of that for just a second so I can avoid some of the ads. I will pick up that void charge. And that said void charge will be deposited right in that purplish bone looking thing right there. It'll give me a prompt to extinguish and extinguish. That's where you can extinguish the other 2 on their designated side. You can do it on whatever side you want. Like if you wanted to go in like a weird order of depositing them and others, you can. I would just recommend grabbing it, putting it in that specific one right in front of its area. Now, as I was saying, there's that the DPS, you gotta be in the center. That's all you can do. As you see, being in the center allows me to damage him. If I was outside of it, I would not be able to damage him as much. I would highly recommend taking out the first law immediately, considering that they will and can kill you quickly. So, even though, yes, I was outputting a lot of damage, I was still trying to put my survivability ahead of everything. So you see me moving around a lot more. At this point, after he pulls the sword out, I see that I have no ability, so I swap my exotic from Bad Juju to Monte Carlo so I can have more of that melee energy to use concentration to proc knockout to help with my survivability. Again, you want to put your survivability over everything because in a dungeon it is very scarce, especially with the newer ones coming out and having so much health. Again, just the same thing. Kill the 3, deposit, DPS phase, and that's it. Now, once you kill him, that green crystal there in the center will be destroyed and turned into the chest. That is the chest at the end. Once you get that, that's your loot for the dungeon. Now, this is my first video, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment of any other guide you would like to see over Destiny other than dungeons. If you need a certain guide, leave a comment. I'll take those into consideration. And if you really want to, come by the Twitch, join the Discord server. I'm hoping to grow a thriving community over Destiny and see if we can help others. I will see you all in the next one.